to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Well, one thing I must say about Errol is every time you invite him to anything to speak, he always comes by, always shows up. You don't ever say no way.
I must be like Tato.
Yeah. Like we know that. You probably was very talkative in school as a youth.
Well,
actually, in school.
I want to tell you too, Uncle Boy, you're looking good, you know. You're looking good. You're looking young, still, boy. You look. Watch now. Here, what? Here, now listen to this. This is no lie. Remember when it was what video was Marcy Miranda bring down the hand? Was that video that you were in?
That's my little brother.
You serious?
That's my little brother. He's 9 years younger than me.
You know, I swear all these years it was you in the video.
Okay.
Nah, that's Nigel Fabien in that video.
Okay.
Basically, you know that?
No, I didn't know that. That come just like yesterday. I saw somebody put up a picture of Forrest Whitaker. And he has a brother. And they look similar. Like, so all the time people think it was Forrest Whitaker. He has a younger brother. So yeah, like, so something.
Oh, so one have one eye, one of them the left eye, and next one the right eye.
Hear this now. Let me give all a joke before we start, right?
Well, you want to be because earlier you want to play a comedian to show off your comedian.
No.
Come good, come good. Come here, Errol Sharp, come good. Come good,
Listen to this.
Yeah.
Years ago, right? And now, you know Saturday girls and thing. An individual call, man, she say, I want you to take me to the movies, right? So I talking to her on the phone now. My brother now overheard the conversation, right? So I tell her, I say, I ain't sure, you know what I mean? So he tell me, so I block the phone. Him, send me now. I say, you sure? He say, yes, send me. You know, he meet the girl. It was Windsor in Arima back in the days. He went sit down with the girl, watch the movie. Coming down to the end of the movie is that's when he tell her it was me.
Wow.
Oh shit.
That's serious, you know? The girl never talk to me again. Never.
If I turn the phone, it can still work?
Now we seen your soul side.
Yeah.
Now we'll have to come back, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm not the rest of the time now.
Oh.
Right.
I go hold it. I just gonna be shaky.
Oh, God, we just real talking, Errol.
Yeah, but you can think it so sometimes when you think you will hear that.
I go work it out by the time.
Yeah, man.
I go find something to rest it on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, tonight we're gonna go in depth with Errol Fabien. I mean, you wear different hats, right? We wanna go from where Errol started, from inception, from the dream, right? We wanna go there. We wanna go there and come forward.
All right. Well, if I tell you, I never really had no dreaming. Although I was a big dreamer as a little boy. I'm from a small village. The population in my village when I was growing up might have been about 200. It's Gonzalez village in Guapo. And from very young, I knew that village was too small for me and I was getting out of there as soon as I can. And not because I hated it or anything. I loved that life, that country life. Right now, I'm mining chickens based on mining chicken as a child, right? But I wanted to see more. I wanted to do more. I had a sense that the adults in my village were gardeners, working in the oil, or teachers, or marijuana pushers back in them days. And I couldn't see myself in none of them things. I didn't know where I was heading, but I know I needed to get out of that village. And the funny thing is I try to go back there as much as I can now.
Yeah.
But I am number 6 of 9 children my parents had. And let me tell you, number 6 of 9, you're pretty much lost. You're just...
in the middle.
Yeah. I was not the first boy. I had nothing really unique about me. I just blended right in. And wow. Let me tell you, I was lost. I didn't really have a sense of myself until I ended up at Naprima College for my secondary school. And there is where my eyes were opened. There's where I saw some guys writing plays and doing drama, and men drumming and a combo and Sea Scouts and basketball and volleyball and football and cricket and art, and it was just so much for my senses, you know. And I fall in line with the drama thing, you know. I try my hand at it, and people laugh and like they like it and thing. And I end up in choral speaking. I play volleyball, I play football and thing for the school, you know. I did a lot of things outside of the classroom, but it was a journey of self-discovery.
Right.
And I really, when I was in Form 4, my mother died, and that was a real hard lash for me, right? Because I was very close to her. And yeah, I started doing marijuana around that time too, because everybody in the village at that age, we were doing marijuana. That was the thing, you know. So I was doing marijuana.
Would you say your mom passing was part of the reason that you turned to marijuana?
Nah, I couldn't wait to smoke. I wanted to smoke from small.
It was a wrong year. It was a wrong year. It was a wrong year in the village. It was like a normal thing. Was a wrong year.
It was the thing. It was the thing. We're talking in the 70s here, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Early 70s, it was the thing. And I was born in 1960, so secondary school there, I went NAPS in 72.
Right.
72 to 77, my in school, that's in the height of everything, all the sense of self and black consciousness and thing going on. The advent of NJAC and all these things was happening around me as a young, impressionable man, you know. So, yeah, I just wanted to go. I couldn't wait. What's that?
No, you just wanted to get out, to just be something more. You know, it had something more you need to be. Yeah.
Yes, there was something else there. And what happened to when I was in Form 4, I get to go UWI in the August holidays to a cultural camp, and I did a beginner's course in acting with the amazing Belinda Barnes.
Nice.
And it was 14 hours, that was it. And I told myself, nah, I'm going to be an actor.
No, the way how you speak, like in those days, it had so many opportunities, like, you know, so it had opportunities for that, for acting, for football, for this, for that. So if a youth wanted to get involved in something, they could get involved in something.
It was there. It was there. Let me tell you, that camp at August holidays at UWI, right? People who do good in Best Village and Drama Festival and all that thing get scholarships to go there. The state paying for that.
Right.
You get per diem and everything. And you go on a train with the best and you meet the best. I mean, I meet all kind of great artists and things in that little camp at 14 years old.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Seasoned actors doing advanced courses, stage management people, drummers, musicians. I met dancers, you know, Eileen McSween, all these people were there, you know. It was like creme de la creme. I get to rub shoulders with, you know what I mean? And that was a real life-changing event for me. So as soon as I left there, I saw this girl when I was there, and she was in this drama group with this man named Stokes, and she told me, you will do real good in that group. And so when I leave and school finished, I went and joined the group.
Okay.
And wow. I mean, I just opened up big again, because Stokes would write, produce, direct, and promote his own shows. And he writing plays for all of us and things. So now I just newbie, you know, I just new youth man on the block and anything. I know no part, you know, but when Stoke directing, he can't watch and direct. So I would go and stand in for Stoke. And I used to mimic him now as kicks, you know.
Right.
And, you know, boy, and night Stoke tell me you're on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
he tell me you are on tonight.
Okay.
You're on.
Yeah.
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 Like on stage.
Let me tell you, I properly shut up that thing that night, you know. Stage fright, forget lines. It was a disaster. It was a disaster. But let me tell you, you know what Stoke told me the next night? You're on.
Yeah. Again? Again?
Yeah.
After you mess up again, you will believe in you.
Yeah, this is the thing I'm about to say. When you see people believe in you, That's the most important thing for us as adults with our children and young people around us, to show them we believe in them. Because when he put me on the next night, I knocked that out of the ballpark, partner.
Boy.
You know, and then Stork started writing plays for him and I to be the lead actors in it.
Okay.
You understand? He started writing things for me to be leading.
So let me stick a pin in it there for a second. So from our youth growing up, not knowing, having no direction, this is where you're getting, you know, some foundation right there. But continue.
Yeah. And that man really believed in me. And he was very much like my arts father then, or my comedy father, or my drama father, because Stork was real bigger, not in size, but TPT decided they're going to do a series called the Stork Central Show, 13 weeks. We had shot about 5 of those episodes already. And the 6th one, he had me doing the lead in that play. So we reached the TTT and we set up and we start and we do the first scene, and then the director asks Stork, when you coming on? And Stork said, well, I'm not in this one. Errol is the lead in this one. And the man said, stop everything, stop everything. This is the Stork Central Show, not the Errol Fabien show. People don't know who is Errol Fabien. So we're talking now about 1978, 79, somewhere around there. So people don't know who is Errol Fabien. There's the Stork Central Show. Stork said, well, he is the star in this one, not me.
Okay.
And they tell Stork, well, no, you have to be the star. You know what Stork Central do, partner? That man tell the group, I'll wrap it up, we out of here.
What?
Wow. I'm telling you.
That man real believe in you, boy.
That man real believe in you.
And that just goes to show in life, sometimes you just need somebody, one person to just believe in you. Take a chance with you, but believe in you, boy. Yeah.
For real. For real. So much so, but so much Stork stories. I moved to Port of Spain in about 78. I moved to Port of Spain. And Stork was the MC at the Masters then, Calypso tent. And I go on to check him, and we backstage lineman, and I watch it. I'm in because this is Crow, Eagle, Shadow, all the big names and them there. And I in awe that I backstage. And you know what Stork turned to me and tell me? Pony next man are coming now. And walk and leave me in.
Put you on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah, and I going out. Trembles. I get through it. I put on the next man and walk backstage to bounce up the manager of the tent, quarreling with Stork. Who is that youth? What you doing? People come to see you. And the man gone. And you know what Stork do?
Put you back on.
Say, pour the next man.
Hey!
You understand?
Wow.
You think we have people in this time believe in people so well?
Nah, boy.
I believe in people so.
Yeah, but you had to see the raw talent. You had to really see the, I mean, I have done it before with probably like with DJs and things, for a DJ and a truck, a DJ. But you had to see the raw talent in somebody, and sometimes you believe in somebody more than they might believe in their own self. You know?
That's right.
And what about you? Did you believe in all this time? When Stork was putting all that faith in you, did you believe in yourself? Because that was one of the most important things. You didn't.
No, I didn't. Yeah. I had very little sense of myself and very little confidence in myself. My thing on stage so far had been in a troupe, in a group.
Yeah.
You know, on stage with other actors and things. I never do no solo work. And it's true. Now here in a man named Jamal Talib, let me tell you, write down that name. Jamal Talib is the man responsible for so many artists in this country. He used to run a place called Rolls Royce Discotheque at 101 Abercrombie Street.
Like Jamal lives in Brooklyn. Does he live in Brooklyn now? Jamal?
Yeah, he's in Brooklyn now. He has hometown record.
Yes, hometown. Yes. I know Jamal, yes.
But let me tell you, at Rolls Royce, there was live entertainment almost every night in this discotheque. All right? Peter Brito, David Rudder. You call artists.
Yeah.
This boy used to sing. He used to sing with Imogen Company.
Russell Cadogan.
Right. All of them people. I know all of them coming for the first big and to get a chance to go on stage and sing at Rolls Royce.
Yeah, man.
And I was there, you know. Yeah. And I inveigled Jamal for us to bring a couple of stock plays, skits to perform inside there.
Nice.
And not too long after that, I in the discotheque lineman, and the MC, I think the MC was supposed to be Ian the Goose Elego, one of them guys, one of them radio guys. And the MC wasn't there and he wanted to start the show. And he said, Errol, you're an actor, go on, start the show and bring on the first man. And I went out to start the show. And you know that thing there's do MC? Keep talking.
Yeah.
Ready yet? And I give a joke. And people start, I never do stand-up comedy yet. I give a joke in Rolls Royce discotheque. And people laugh.
A joke in first of all, a joke in a discotheque.
You understand what I'm telling you? People ain't come for that.
Yeah.
And people laugh again. And then I end up like the house MC in Rolls Royce. Everything they're having, Jamal will call me. And in them days, if on the night then I get $50, I'm feeling like a king, you know?
Yeah.
You understand? A $50 you make it out your court.
Yeah, boy.
So, but I also had my worst experience on stage there.
Yeah.
Willard Harris, the amazing and phenomenal relator, had a show called, it was a one-man concert he had with a band. Can't remember the name right now, that R word. It escapes me. Anyway, most shows that happen in Trinidad, including foreign act, Billy Paul, you name them, have to come Rolls Royce and perform.
Yeah, that was it.
Right. So the show was a sold out at Holiday Inn for 3 nights straight with Relator. And they decided bringing it to Rolls Royce. And Jamal told me, well, you were MC. Now I pay my money and went Holiday Inn and see the show, you know, because I love Relator.
Right.
And so I see MC. Boy, and the place ram. And I walk out on stage. Now, in Rolls Royce, if you swing your foot, you kick the man in the front row in the face, you know, that's how tight it is.
Yeah.
And I there saying good evening and getting into my thing. And before I finish like a sentence or two, a man asks, hearing everything, who is he? Somebody, me, you know. Where did you hear from his relator? We come to here. And boy, it spread like wife. Boy, go on from there now, come up this step, you come for Relator.
Yeah, Trinidad, watch my Trinidad, is it easy, you know, is it worse, you know?
Trinidad's crowd hard there.
And I walk up the stage into a little room adjoining the stage. It have no exit except back across the stage. I stayed in that room all night. I never came out till show finished. Most of the people gone.
Yeah.
I come out there shame, never to go back on stage again. And
wow.
It's because Spoke had something for me to do the next weekend. I went back on stage. And boy, I haven't turned back since. You know? So, yeah. Jamal Talib used to have a show at Rolls Royce called The Gong Show. Right? Now, The Gong Show is an amateur show. If you ain't going good, they sit a gong, and all. So the judges there, they have the big gong there. And you know what was my job? My job was to get gong. Because the talent was so good, sometimes for the night a man mightn't get gong. So my work was to get gong. I do striptease, I do bottle dance, I do dance, I do karate demonstration, bodybuilding, I sing, I do poetry. And, you know, this is talking about years every Sunday night.
Yeah. Wow.
For about 4 years, every Sunday night, I did something new at Rolls Royce to get gong.
You was a gong man.
What was the age that time, Errol? What was the age
19, 20, 21 years old, that kind of time. And when they go into the semi-finals, the crowd used to say, we want it. No, I used to dress up as a character called Christopher Aaron Theophilus Hercules Danjuma Montgomery Ignatius Snodgrass Earl J. Wagadon Charles Augustine Celestine Rat Paul Singh Tate.
Whoa.
So people who call me Tate, I know they know me from way back.
Yeah, man. Hey.
Right? So when they say, well, okay, prelims over, the audience used to say, hey, we want Tate in the semis. Tate have to go to the semis. And I'll be on every night. Even at the finals, I'll be on, you know. Boy, that was such great. And in them days, guys, let me tell you, there's Uptown Port of Spain. My taxi stand is Duke Street. Plenty people going Independence Square and thing to get a transport to go home. You could have walked any part of Port of Spain.
Any part, Nelson Street, George Street, anyway.
Of nothing.
Yeah.
Anywhere. With fear of nothing.
Wow.
Nobody. Women will walk by themselves to the discotheque from wherever part of town. They drop out the maxi downtown. They walk up town. They go to the party. They walk down by themselves and go the way. We never had a fear of anything in those days.
Errol, back in those days, right? How lucrative it was being in the arts?
It was not at all lucrative. And but the cost of living and thing was low then, But there were few artists in Trinidad in those times who were making a living as an artist. Very few. It's people used to do art after work or on the weekends and that kind of thing. Rodder used to be there regular, but he was working in accounts at PTSC. You know, this one there, but they're working wherever place. That one there,
everybody had a 9-to-5 job,
That a 9-to-5.
Yeah. No, besides, when you got that opportunity at Rolls Royce, did any other opportunities come your way? Did anybody besides Stork see, you know, this man I want to, and Jamal see and want to pull you and do other gigs with you, you know? Like for your pump or spin, did they get to go to Bago, get to go south, any kind of thing like that?
Well, working with Stork on stage, some opportunities came my way, but only when I moved to Port of Spain.
Right. Yeah.
Now, from very small, right? Because stories just bring stories. I hope all you have time.
Yeah,
from small, right? I had a romance with television.
Yeah.
When the first television came to my village, we didn't have it. I used to run away to go and watch TV. I was mesmerized with television because we used to listen to
TTT. And I was TTT, of course.
Yeah, TTT, and it's signing off 10 o'clock in the night or something. So, but let me tell you, I was mesmerized.
What show you like? What was your show? What was your show back in them days? What show you used to watch?
Man from Uncle. That a show, Man from Uncle. Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows.
It had
with Barnabas. I was thinking about Barnabas.
Yeah. Never Crossword, Love Thy Neighbor, them kind of things were on. Series were on.
Yeah.
And the news, and we had local shows like At Home with Sylvia Hunt. We had Melina Scott. We had June Gonzalez. All them people were presenters. Yusuf Ali and all them fellows was on TV. Our TV, our TTT was filled with local programming back then, you know.
When all you hear that, the only thing people had was local programming. That's all you see, TTT, local programming.
We had a percentage. We had a percentage of foreign content, but it was mostly local content. It was exploding. And I was in love with this thing. In love. I can't tell you in some cases what was on. I used to see myself inside the people TV, I'm telling you.
Division.
Yeah. So I moved to town, and a day a man named Christopher Laird came and asked me to be in a documentary. Now, them see me acting on stage, right? With Stork, and when I moved to town, Judy Stone had me in dinner theater acting. Different theater producers start hiring me to do acting. And Christopher Laird saw me and came and asked me to, this is in 1980 something, very early in the 80s, in a documentary regarding the computerization of the licensing office, right? And asked me how much I would have paid to my TV, you know, to go on TV. I was like, yeah. So I was getting paid for this. And I got my first taste of it, boy.
Wow.
And let me tell you, that was awesome. I watched everything. That's how I learned. I learned from seeing and hearing, right? And after I did that, a woman named Donna Reese came to hire me to do a TV ad. TV ad. It was that one? Whatever one. The first TV ad I did was when the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce brought the first ATM to Trinidad. It was in Westmore. Okay. Okay. We had one ATM in the country.
One ATM in Westmore. They put it in Westmore. Oh gosh.
Westmore. And I did the ad for the ATM. I think that somebody had it on social media recently.
Yeah.
And from that, people keep coming to get me to do this, to do that, to do the next. Until the same Christopher Led came back and asked me to be a production assistant for a TV series named Gaia in 1985.
Right.
And I immersed myself in watching these people direct, produce, how they set lights, what they do with the cameras, what they do with microphones, how they mic people.
I was just in 1985, you said?
Yeah. 1985.
I was two in 1985.
Yeah, and it just pick up. Well, those days I was drugging, and I used to drive the company car, and I used to mash it up, and I had a sense they were on to me, and I abandoned the job. And I just never went back to abandon. Just never went back because I did paranoia that they're going to fire me. You know.
So how exactly? Because you sounded like you were on a track, on your road, all you wanted to do, living your dream. How did drugs come into that realm?
Well, I was drugging since I was in secondary school.
When you started with the marijuana. Right.
Marijuana. Yeah. And marijuana is something, well, for me, I'm talking for me, I escalate fast. Yeah. So what a pull used to do for me, I needed 4 pulls to do it in short order.
So it was a half a joint.
Yeah, it was a gateway drug for me, right? And I just needed more and more and more and more. And I don't know if it was being in the arts or what, but I'm not blaming anything. I wanted to smoke, and I smoked, right? Because my brothers and sisters, none of them, and it's 9 away, none of them was on that. Yeah. And so my drug use, and I was living, when I moved to Belmont, and I was in company with a number of drug users in Belmont.
Right.
And in 1983, I got introduced to crack cocaine.
Okay.
Wow. And that really had me spiraling out of control. I used to smoke black joints. That was my thing. I snort a couple times. I didn't like it. I do the Zoosh and the pipe. I didn't like that. But the black joints, that was my thing.
Question, Errol. Was it somebody in the arts that introduced you to the drug? Or there's somebody in the street?
No. I will tell you, I used to lie on the corner at Dark Eye Lane and Ruden Lane and the Castro Lane in Belmont. And them fellas start doing coke, piping. And I wanted, and them fellas used to tell me, Fabien, this is not for you. They never saw me with them. Them always saw me somewhere else.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
All them brethren on the block, they would lie with me and thing, but they never encouraged me in drugging. So I went and buy my thing for myself and smoke for myself. You understand? Eventually I start smoking blacks with them. But initially, them boys, Leroy, Schooner, Soup Mouth, Stanwin is like
you remember all of them, but you remember them, they used to run you.
Yeah. Them fellas is real brethren for me, you know. I don't play that, you know.
Yeah.
And I see some of them reach to nothing on drugs, just like how I did get to. You understand? And them fellas used to tell me, no. I used to be outside the window and them piping inside singing, oh, Danny boy, the pipes are cold. And they would open the window and would chase me.
Yeah.
Because they see a thief in their head, you know?
Yeah.
Until they smell a black joint. And that was it. That was it for me.
No, I remember you saying your mother died and stuff. What about your father? Because I didn't hear anything about you. Was your father wrong? Was any
My father today is my hero.
Right.
I never understood what my father was going through as a parent of 9 with a job and maintaining this family. My father worked hard. I get that from him. I work. Every day of my life, I work. I could be tired, I go to work. I have my work to do, I do my work. My father was an educator. He believed in young people. This police commissioner the other day, Mervyn Dillon.
Yeah.
I know my father writing a recommendation for him to get into the police service or into the army or wherever he went into. I know my father was a teacher, educator. He used to go and give lessons in Chatham Camp. When he in school, the standard 5 class could come in early in the morning, gain them lessons. After school, he giving lessons. That was his thing. And that was not a revenue thing for him. That was him understanding his role.
Yeah.
So, but my father couldn't really, I think, deal with my situation because I was not as academic as my brothers and sisters. And my father believed in academic excellence. And I was outside of the mold. I was different. And he didn't see arts as a way to survive or to make a living. He wanted me to get my 5 subjects and get a government job. And I wasn't about that. I didn't have a sense of that. So my father and I had a great bad relationship.
Right. Can I pull on tongue? Pull on tongue.
He was a really good father.
Yeah.
But we didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
And so I left. I left home because, and I understand that now with young men. I see them when they hit that age where they want to be a man. And they have to let them go.
Yeah, you
want to let them go, let them find themselves and they will come back.
Let them go and let them grow.
So, yeah. So, yeah, that was it. My father came to see me on stage at Central Bank Auditorium, the first play to be performed there. Teja and Mary Keith, a play written by Pearl Aintu Springer. It was a musical, and I had to sing in it. I was a horrible singer. But my father came to see that, and I was so proud to be on stage in front of my... Now, let me tell you about my father. My father thought he was a comedian, but he wasn't. He would come home and hear this one, hear this one. My first real routine at Talk Tent, when Paul Keynes agreed for me to be in the Talk Tent, my first routine were all jokes from my father, from boyhood days.
Okay.
You know what I'm telling you? Yeah, my father was real. That's my hero.
No, Errol, we talk about the rise and fall here. Before we go to the rise, you spoke about, leaving the job because of the fright, because of the use of drugs, right? At what time you said to yourself, I need to get out of this. I need to rise. I need to do something about it.
I need help.
I never really tell myself that, Let me tell you. You see, cocaine, alcohol, marijuana, and tobacco, I love them things. I love those things. But them things not good for me. So, even at my lowest ebb, when my wife at the time came to me and tried to convince me to go to rehab, she had to pass her 40s. She had to pass her 40s to talk to me and to talk to me about any paper to sign and take. And when I went into rehab, I went because of her. I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to be in that rehab. I hated being in that rehab when I just got inside there. I didn't want to be there. And they make me, at age 27, I went there in 1988. First time I eat with a knife and fork in my life was there. They teach me to eat with knife and fork there.
Okay.
You understand? I didn't want to be there. At 14 days, and I tell them, call my wife, I go home, I have to see my children. You understand?
Because when you're in there, you can't get no visit, you cannot get any visitors, anything. No visitors.
For the first 14 days, no visitors. No visitors, nothing. After that, based on your behavior and how you apply yourself, did I say behavior? Behavior. And how you apply yourself, you'll get visitors, right? So I tell them, I go home, pack my bag, I'm thinking I was going home. And my wife tell them, no, I have to keep him. And they say, we can't keep him against his will. So she talked to me on the phone. I tell her, I will never, ever, ever use drugs again. Come for me. She said, no, yes. I said, but I want to see the children. She said, no. She says, stay 7 more days. If you stay 7 more days, you can come home. If you leave before that, you'll never see these children again.
Wow.
And I decided to stay. I decided to stay the 7 days. And in that, right, a man named Rodriguez, who was a recovering addict, he was a security there, come in my room that same night and tell me, you're leaving? I say, yes. He tell me, don't do that. He said, don't do that, boy. Give yourself a chance. He said, when I asked you to finish something, you start. And I couldn't answer because I was a great starter, you know?
Yeah.
But I was a real lousy finisher. And one day at a time, by the grace of God, and only by the grace of God, I finished my 91 days in that rehab center. I tried other things to get to leave, you know?
Yeah.
And nothing worked out. I ended up going where we used to call the cold room by the administrator, and see she put out 3 other fellows who was in the same crime with me and watch me and tell me, you're not going anywhere, Mr. Fabien. Back upstairs.
Back upstairs.
I owe my life to people like that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I owe my life.
It seems like throughout your life, you always had some good people in your corner, boy. Good people.
Somebody believing in me and seeing something in me that I didn't see and I didn't believe in.
Yeah.
And when I was hosting, when I was working Gael with Banyan in them days, the show had 3 presenters. I wasn't a presenter. I used to roll cable and pack box and carry camera and mic and thing.
Okay.
Tony Hall, Errol Sitahal, and Niala Marat were the presenters. And when I went in rehab, it was about the time when they were all going away to do tertiary education. And all recommended me as the presenter to succeed them.
Okay.
And they couldn't find me.
Yeah. So they didn't know you went rehab?
I was nowhere along.
Okay.
I was up in the rehab. And it's when they eventually went by my wife, and she told them come up there to look for me, you know.
Okay.
Wow.
And when I leave the rehab, I had a job as a TV presenter waiting for me.
Blessings. That's blessings. That's blessings.
I tell you, because Christopher Laird believe in me.
Again, our next man.
When I tell him, yeah, listen to me. I didn't make the best use of my time in rehab, and the time when I leave, I had to go back to a fellowship named NA and make 90 meetings in 90 days. You asked me when I tell myself I have to be better, it was the day I was leaving the rehab. When my little 5-year-old daughter, my oldest daughter, asked me if I'm better now. And I tell her yes. And that's in that moment, I tell myself, Errol, you have to be better. You have to be better. So when I talk to Laird and them, I tell them, I don't know if I could take the job because I have to go to these meetings. And they say, well, we will work around that. And they would allow me to go to meetings and come back to work. Sometimes in the day I'm feeling too good to have a meeting in Living Water, Families in Action. They used to have different meetings. So I would leave in the day and go to a meeting and come back. In that 90 days, I make over 100 meetings because I wanted something. And that job as a TV presenter was a mainstay for me because I wanted that. I enjoyed it. All my life, I wanted to be on TV from small, you know.
Get the opportunity.
So I was holding on to that.
Errol,
I went there.
Is that any time within that period you felt tempted to go back?
All the time. All the time. It is not an easy road to walk, you know.
There's always once a drug addict, once an alcoholic, always alcohol. Always. You always had that temptation.
Once an addict, always an addict, always an addict. I'm an addict. Right now, my name is Errol Fabien and I'm an addict. You understand? And if I get that out of my head waiting to carry me to take a pull, because I love them thing, but I have to love them from afar now. You understand? So I start off on Gael on the program as a presenter. And within 12 months, I was presenting, writing, directing, and producing. You understand? Because I just wanted to be the person who my children will say, that's my daddy dear. Because before that, I used to hide from them. I didn't want them to see me in the condition I used to be in.
Yeah. I remember time you gave them a story with you and them with drugs. Anytime you was like babysitting them and you leave to do drugs or some kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the turning point, one of the turning points for me, base, because I was home with my 3 girls. They were 3 years old, 2 years old, and 1 year old.
Yeah.
I was home with them. I was taking care of them.
Right.
And by 10 o'clock in the morning, I was thirsty. We had lived in Sao.
Yeah.
And I used to sell things out of the house. I had nothing in the house to sell, I kid you not. No hustle in the house. Until I noticed the gold earrings in the ears, the gold hoops.
Yeah.
And I take those 3 pairs of hoops and leave them 3 babies locked up in a house by themselves in Sao. Hustle my way into Port of Spain to go by the Lima to sell the old gold. And then went by the pusherman and spent a long time before I went home. To reach home, I was 25 years old at the time. To reach home and meet my babies crying and neighbors around the house and singing. And I really love my children. And putting them in harm's way really scared me. It was then when I started spending less and less time at home and more time out on the streets because I didn't trust me around them. I didn't trust me around.
And of course, all this time your wife was still with you, still with
you. Boy, to take and tell.
Yeah.
And I would humiliate her, She was working in our accounts department and we had a little old car. And I would drive up by the place I work, open the engine, get some oil on my hand and go upstairs. And tell her, things shut down, I need money. And to get me out of there fast, she would give me the money so I would go. She used to look like she was the one sprang in,
So you're stressing out. You're stressing you out,
And boy, that woman stick by me,
boy.
And when I get out of rehab and I'm on Antigua and I'm doing good, I repaired her by starting to womanize. You see, the disease, I didn't understand that the disease was the problem and not drugs. It's addiction is the problem, not drugs. So my addiction flared up again. I never went back to drugs, but it flared up with women. And I lost more because of that than I lost doing drugs. Because my wife and I end up being separated because of that woman who stick by me through everything.
So all right. You said it was addiction, but what were you longing for?
Do you know? Yeah, like do you know what causes? What Errol Fabien, was looking for you all this time?
I don't know, but it's a mental illness. It's a chemical imbalance in our brain. A lot of people live with it, Even with church, that people are addicted to church. And the home falling apart.
I will admit right now, I am an addict. I am addicted to Red Woman. I try all how to stop it. No. I am addicted to Red Woman. I tell you.
Till base, I feel you, brother.
Yeah, but
let me tell you, there's a definition. Here's the clinical definition of addiction, right? Repeating an action or an experience in spite of negative consequences.
Right.
That is addiction. The word drug not in there at all. It is repeating an action or an experience in spite of negative consequences. That is addiction, right? And we used to live and live to use. Our life and thinking is centered in whatever the addiction is. Getting, using, and finding ways and means to get more. That is what it is.
From the drugs, we want to womanize, Let me how we overcome that.
Who say overcome that?
Well, I'm not going to ask. If you something, you're still doing it.
No. Listen, it took me a while, but I wanted to be, I felt as though I know my first wife got a real raw deal because I was not faithful to her at all during the marriage. And we end up being separated. And I want to be good. I had a sense that I had enough. And it took some time because is, you know, addiction has to do, the reason we repeat the action or the experience in spite of negative consequences, because it gives us joy. It gives us pleasure, right? And I used to enjoy having multiple women. It was a real turn on for me that I could lead by one and go by the next one, eat by one, sleep by one, whatever it is, you know. It was, you know, I thought I was a damn dada, but I was a damn fool, you know, but everything in its time. So as I grew, and I have to say that being in the arts helped me a lot, because as an actor, when I play somebody, I understand their pain, I understand their fears, I understand, you know, their faith, understand different things, you know, and I start to respect life more. You know, my difficult days on drugs start playing back in my life, and the disregard I had for other people's lives and the disregard I had for my own life. And all of these things started playing in my head because, too, being on television, now when I doing something, I do it 100, 110. And now I started to interview these people who are anthropologists, who are artists, who are scientists, who are, you know, all these things. And they're talking a good talk about being real. They're talking a talk about being responsible. They're talking, and I talk in that talk in my links in between. And I fighting to live the life. So more and more, I had a growing desire to be better. And my eyes still long. My eyes still long. I would see somebody pass and, you know. But today, I do ask for the phone number. Today, I might take a little flirt, say a little hello, you know, say something funny, try to be cute, you know. But I don't take phone number, and I try not to follow up. I don't follow up. And yeah, because I want to be different. I want my sons to be like me. I want my daughters, significant others, to treat them how they should be treated.
Yeah.
You know? So it's incumbent on me to be good.
Nice.
And to be mature and to be honest and forthright and these things, you know. So
that's the first step. As we talking about the drugs, and I want to big up my mom, because my mom is used to be a retired mental health officer working with drug addicts and alcoholics and stuff.
Wow.
You know? Yeah, boy.
Important, boy. Yeah. A lot of people standing up on her shoulders right now, Pat.
Yeah. So moving on with rehab and stuff, is rehab now, I don't know if you're involved now as you were back then. How is rehab now? Like, because I see a lot of young people on the streets, boy, a lot of young people on drugs and stuff. How is it now? Because the drugs has got more potent, no more easy access to the drugs now. How is rehab in Trinidad and Tobago now? Are we focusing on rehabilitation now?
There's a lot of availability of spaces in rehabs.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID. COVID have everything full ram. It gone out of control with the lockdown. People drinking more, people smoking more, a lot more mental illness setting in, because we might have a mental illness. A lot of us have mental illness. Yeah, you know, Trinidad, I don't like to say mad, but not mad. Depression, bipolar, different things that people may be able to live with when they have a full active life. They're waking up, they're going to work, they're doing something they enjoy, they're keeping themselves at an operating temperature. But with the lockdown changes all of that. Yeah, it depresses you, and it bring on the depression, bring on the anxiety, bring on the substance use, bring on the porn addiction, bring on the gambling, bring on all these things, because what else are you going to do? You know, people who live with the condition have no choice.
Want to stick up in it for a second there. I just want to, a lot of people messaging here.
Yeah, that's a question. Somebody said, I saw somebody said you're an inspiration.
I appreciate you, Errol, for opening up about this, right? I respect you. This is content, yes? Love you guys, right? That's from Gabby. No, I also want to invite people on the live. People to come on the live. Send me a request on the live. You want to talk to Errol? This is the opportunity here. It's on the live. Third base, yours truly, RKG. And it's a good vibe. We chatting, we having a good vibe. We getting to know about, not just, you know, sometimes a lot of people see Errol Fabien on TV, popular, easy man, but they don't know the story, right? They just see the glory, but they don't know the story. So that's what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the thing get rough. Now, I've been volunteering at the rehab. I go back 1 day a week, but since the second lockdown, I haven't gone back up because at the same time, I'm aware of going out there and coming back home. You know, I'm not one of them people petrified of COVID because I take care of my immune system and them kind of things, right? I'm aware and I don't want to put myself in unnecessary thing. I don't feel that the rehab bad or anything, but I in that space and I'm going to start back going just now, but giving back is a very important thing for me. I host any meeting on Tuesday evenings now. I forget about it yesterday, I didn't do it. And 2 Tuesdays ago, I missed 2, but I had to keep myself on it because people depend on that. You know, a lot of people depend.
So what I like here, you would like to have a chat with Uncle Errol?
Yeah, well, let me see you now. You're better.
Yeah, whoever it is, still a little shy.
I feel this person might be sleeping. All right, you're going to the next one. Feel free to join the live. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what part
rehab? Sorry.
No,
rehab is in great demand right now.
Rehab is in great demand.
What part of your career you said yes, I get through. People know me. I finally reached where I wanted to be. The dream that I had, the aspirations that I had. What part of your career you said you felt some kind of pleasure?
RKG, I'm not there yet. I am Errol Fabien. I'm an artist. I'm a recovering drug addict. And I'm pursuing my
dream. He's very
dream.
humble. He's one of the most humblest men you could ever meet.
That's amazing. With all your accomplishments, that is amazing to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Well, you see, again, people always see me different to how I see me. And I just do my work. My work is done publicly. You know, the viewers and the entertainers and things see my work. But you doing your work and people probably not seeing as much of you, accountants doing their work, nobody watching them and things. I have so much more. I feel, and I feel as though I want to exit comedy, you know. I feel as though, you know, I need to make room because so many young comedians, boom, appear on the scene. And I remember when I was a young comedian, when Bill Trotman and Agitation and all these people were there and they were getting all the work and I couldn't get work.
Wow.
And then boom, I started getting work and I was getting real work.
Yeah.
And now I feel like if the younger ones getting the work and I don't want to end up I want to exit with grace. You know, that's how I say it. I want to leave and I'm open to them. I host them, I talk with them, they visit me and thing, I talk with them about the craft and thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm a filmmaker too. I want to make films. I want to tell the Austin Lyons story on film. I want to tell the Pulul brothers story on film. I want to know that we're making stories about us, you know, about Boise Singh, about Dolce, about the great scientists and great entertainers we have, you know. Nobody's making those films about us. So our children won't know who we are. So much about us they don't know, you know. And that is that plays on my mind these days.
What would you say? What would you say? Because I was having a conversation recently, right? And I was talking with someone and we were saying that if you go on YouTube and you type in Bob Marley, or you type in Peter Tosh, or you type in Harry Belafonte, you will see a lot of interviews coming up. But when you type in Lord Kitchener or you type in Sparrow, you just see nothing. Right?
Yeah.
What is the reason you think we don't have enough of that data, that information? What would you say?
Well, I'm the wrong person to ask that because I could walk into a room right now where all of those interviews sit. I have a lot of interviews with Sparrow, Kitchener. We have the Gael archives here. And we play those things on Gael on television. It's not, a lot of it is not, most of it is not available on YouTube. And we're in the process of creating a space, a platform to put a lot of that content. But I grew up knowing and working in Gael and working with people like Tony Hall and Dennis Hall and Errol Sital and all these people, my life was going all over the country interviewing people, you know. So I'm
we have it. We have those footage. It's just not. Oh, because all right, now for the youth, like let's say my son, he is on his tablet, he's on his phone, he's on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. So something else. Okay. So I guess we'll take a little walk. All right. So
take us a little walk.
Wow.
Educate them by ear, educate them. They don't know.
Yeah, me. I know it's gonna get dark for a little bit. I'm gonna turn a light on.
Yeah. Yeah. You man have tapes, right. On tapes, I won't tape.
No. These tapes have an hour of content on each one. Mm. And all these boxes are filled with tapes.
Yeah.
Wow.
These things have maybe about 50 DVDs in each one. Mm. All of these. And all those are our stories. Mm. All these drawers. Mm. All of that is local content.
Right.
Now, I need to not be the only person in possession of all of this. I have hundreds of hours of things here, thousands of hours. And I'm not crying. My situation just is what it is. But I need to transfer these things to become digital files so that I could post them, so that people could find them. I mean, right now, some people know and would come and they would sit and watch. Some people call me and tell me to play something because they need to watch it with the children and them kind of thing. And that's the kind of access people have to Gaia and to me. Call me and they need to see something. We put it on for you. I want to come and sit down and watch it here. But I respect rights too. And if I don't have the rights to give you a copy or something, I'm not going to give you it. Mm. If I don't have the rights to post some online, I'm not going to post it online. Mm. Yeah? But there is a need. Now, if I want to make those files available for people, I need to spend about $250,000 because I have to pay people to ingest all of that and do all the metadata. Right. I would need at least 1 petabyte of storage space to put all those files. Yeah. You understand? And those things are costly. Mm. And I need certain people, special people to do that because people who have to be sensitive to spell people's names correctly, to double check who is who. Because, I mean, for instance, if I pull out Pat Bishop, I have at least 9 hours of content with Pat Bishop. Wow. I have at least 4 hours of interviews with the Mighty Sparrow. Just sit down, talking with him. Leroy Clark just passed. I have about 3 hours of interviews with Leroy Clark. Brother Resistance, and next 4 hours of interviews.
You sitting down on history there. You sitting down on history.
Yeah, you have the archive there.
Yeah.
So are you willing to besides Gael having this, you having this with Gael? Are you willing to share this? Are you willing to share this with like another entity? Let's say like TTT right now is all on this local content thing. Are you willing if TTT comes so you make a deal?
Listen, they can have access to all of it.
Okay.
Because I always think that I should not be the only place where these things are. Suppose, well, look, October 1st last year, when the bank come, it's them thing they're straight outside, you know.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You understand what I'm telling you? It is through the grace of God that I beg them and they call this one and that one to hold their hand for 24 hours with that. And through that 24 hours, everything happened. And I almost answer you with that just now when you asked me about if you feel I reach and everybody I recognize and thing. On the 1st of October 2020, I got my national award when the people, Caribbean people all over the world say, no, we can't close down that. And put the $5 and $20 and raise the money in the time frame to secure all these things in here.
Right.
So that's the greatest thing for me. I don't need anything else. That was my national award. That was my endorsement to continue doing that.
Errol, that's one of the first time, and basically attest to this too. We saw so much of love immediately now. Immediately. I was like, wait, wow. And
you can imagine how I was.
And appreciate you.
Yeah. And those who went so far as to leave a comment when they put whatever they put had encouraging and supportive things to say, you know? And a lot of them are people whose lives I touched because, like, for more than 20 years, I go to schools and talk, on average 2 schools a month, to talk to young people about drug abuse, to talk about substance abuse. I share a story with people sometime when this girl who was breaking from a class at Bishop Anstey went into the AV room to hide and bounced up a talk inside there, right? And that was me talking, and she wasn't supposed to be in there, but she ended up in there. And she heard that talk. She went on to win Miss Universe. Her name is Wendy Fitzwilliam. And when she was Miss Universe, she went to a party in LA, and they were giving out $100 bills at the door, and she didn't know what that was for. And when she went in, she realized that was for the cocaine, and she didn't touch it because she was in that room and heard that talk when she was in school.
Right.
Yeah.
So as go and as deal with what I have to deal with. My mantra is I owe, so off to work I go. You know, I have to go and talk to people. When people call me the brother, the mother, the sister, the uncle having problems, I just go because it's important. It's really important.
Yeah. Well, what would you like to see, Errol Fabien? I mean, everybody does long as well here in terms of accolades. I don't know if it's from the but what would you like to see, like Errol Fabien? What was your legacy you would like to leave behind?
Whatever people want. Some people might remember me as the asshole who just talk out against the government. Some people might remember me as that man who did stop and help with the day we did breakdown. Some people can remember me from a comedy. Whatever you remember me for, you know. I mean, I understand that I am a very, 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 very small entity in the scheme of things. I understand that. Anytime I stop believing that, my head could start to swell. And if my head starts to swell, I could start to use. And if I start to use all that I have, it will all be forgotten, and all they'll remember is that boy, you know, that fool went back and used drugs, boy. So I don't get carried away. I don't get carried away at all. I understand who I am. And that's good enough for me for now. And it will be good enough for me for all times. That's good enough for me.
You have a lot to offer, you have a lot to teach a lot of people, especially a lot of young people. If some of the youths out there, people even people in the world right now were a quarter as humble as you are right now, we'll be in such a much better place.
Well, it's one of the things in recovery that teach us about humility. But humility is knowing your place in the world and taking it. It's not about being a doormat. It's an active thing. And I feel I know my place in the world. So I take my place. My place is to help as many people as I can. My place is to share love. My place is to talk out when something is shit and talk out when something good too. I equal opportunity. I am no hater. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate no administration. I don't hate nothing. But if something seems unfair, I will open them out. And the same person do something good the next day, I go say they do something.
Yeah. We in some challenging times, you know. We in a pandemic, you know. What are your thoughts on the pandemic? What are your thoughts on the vaccine? Well,
I see everything as an opportunity. I think the pandemic was a real opportunity. A lot of people started the small business. A lot of people realized who they was working for, not working for them. A lot of people realized, look, I get foul in May. And now I harvest a little 16 eggs a week. So that's an expense I don't have now, them kind of things. And a lot of people start vlogging, a lot of people start blogging. You know, people found a new way to do things. And I think that's an opportunity. Since 33 years ago when I leave the rehab center, I don't put drugs in my body to feel better. I don't. If I go to a doctor and they give me a prescription, 9 out of 10 times, I don't buy anything on that. I throw it out. Because I want to find out what's wrong. I will find out what I need to do with my diet to keep myself. And I could afford to do that, so I did it. What is being called a vaccine, I know it's an experimental, investigative, biological compound. It is what it is, all right? And I know that my immune system can deal with a virus. I understand what is a virus. I understand what is the COVID-19 virus. I understand all that it does. I understand that I may get very ill. I understand I may not. I understand that there's a 99.7% chance that I will come out of it with my immunity intact from my natural immunity. And I'm prepared to deal with it on that level. I have no objection to anybody taking the vaccine or giving anybody that experimental, investigative, biological compound, but that's not for me. That's I'm all right.
Yeah, man. You have plenty of people on the live there, RKG. Read some comment. Big up Leston.
Yes.
Leston is so Gael too, man. Leston on the live, man.
Spongy!
Yes.
Spongy,
Orlando was on the live. Orlando says he's agreeing with him. He says, yes, brother, preach it. You know, somebody asked, KG asked Uncle, if you smell a black cigarette now, if it would affect you.
It will affect me. When I smell a cigarette, it affects me. I stay away from those things. I do not take chances with my recovery. I value my recovery. I've been drug-free for over 33 years. I don't play with my recovery. If I know it have $1 million there to collect and a man smoking a blacks, I am not going near there. I work in places where alcohol is served and cigarettes are smoked. I know marijuana is smoked widely all about the place. And still, I manage. If I don't have to be there, I'm not there. 9 out of 10 times when you see me walk off of a stage, I'm going straight to my car and go home. Yeah. I don't play. Yeah. You ever see me liming anywhere?
Don't lime at all.
Yeah.
I don't lime.
Still on the live.
No,
what's going on? Well, anytime I see your face, I always feel like I need to come in and at least weigh in on part of the conversation, because I can attest to Uncle Errol's determination in encouraging young people not to walk a certain path, right? He has been instrumental in averting a lot of us young people from going into some very negative situations. Like, for instance, so like I'll talk about when it is I got hired by Gaia. I remember when I was living a certain type of lifestyle, right? I had not too long come out of incarceration. I wouldn't say where, right? But I used to be involved in a lot of negative things and liming around a lot of negative people. And I remember I got hired on Monday, the 22nd of December, 2007. I would remember on the 18th of December. Now, there was a group of us that used to line, 5 of us, right? As I say, we were involved in a lot of negative things. I am the only person still alive from that fight, right? I remember on the 18th of that same December, so it was me and this other brethren. We were the last two. I remember we liming. And while we were liming, I went inside to buy something. And by the time I came outside, he had gotten shot in his head and was lying on the ground. And I said, nah, boy. This can't be fun. So the Monday, I went beating the road for a walk, and I remember seeing Errol down in the lobby. So I walk in the length of St. James, just dropping in stuff. And I remember going to Gael, and I walked into the lobby, and Errol was downstairs, right by the security. Because as I walk in Gael, there's the stairs to go by Errol's office. They had the security right there. And I remember Errol, I dropped in myself, and Errol said, well, yo, what are you really looking for? Whatnot. I said, well, I just looking for something to do, because, I want to start to work. And he was like, well, we didn't really have anything for you, or we didn't really looking for anybody. We're here to do. Come in tomorrow. I said, all right, no problem. Went in the Tuesday, now I told her my name, whatnot, went in the Tuesday. When I walked in, right, Natalie Pope was the HR manager at the time. So I went upstairs and I was speaking to her, whatnot. And she was like, well, yo, we didn't really have nothing. I remember Errol walking in and I talking to Natalie saying, well, where you from, where you doing thing, and I explaining my whole situation. And Errol walking same time because in the, right next to the HR office, or close to the HR office where you would go and do, you would do login, you would log all the tapes and whatnot. Errol walk in to drop a tape and Errol was like, you know what, Natalie, hi. No, Errol had no spot. There was no spots available, Errol said, Natalie, hi. And you would not believe how instrumental, how important, you see that little moment in time that happened there? You would not believe how that just changed the whole course.
It was a turning point. It was a turning point for you.
Very important turning point too. You understand? Because nobody on that St. James Church was hiring. I am talking about from Court straight up to Guyana. And if you know the length of St. James, where Guyana was and where Court sits, right? That is like a mile. I was walking, just looking for, and not getting anything to nobody. And I was like, you know what, hire. And I started work the 23rd of that month. And I always say, you see, when it is you have people who believe in you, who they mightn't know your capabilities, but they see promise, they see a yearning to want to change your life, to want to do better. Like that, very important. Base is also a person who was very instrumental in me not falling back into a certain type of lifestyle, because at a time, and Base would know, at a time certain things were happening, and Base stepped in and Base was like, yo, this sweet man have potential, we can't just let him slide. So it's very important that people like this continue to step in, where they see they could step in and help to inspire and initiate change. Very, very important, because you never know who life you're touching and who life you're changing in a big, big, big way. You understand?
I'm going to tell you, you're big with Alexander all over the place, and nobody can talk to you. But it's good for me, boy, Lester.
I just try to come in and I just say that now. I just say that I would always be grateful. I would always be grateful to Uncle Errol for stepping in at that point in time in my life and saying, yo, I don't know you're from nowhere. I don't even know what you could do. I don't even know if you have the ability to receive information and be able to act out on it. But yo, it's better I take you off the street than you go back out on the street. And that is what he didn't say that directly to me, but that's the message I got. And I was like, well, it is what it is. And that was in 2007. We are in 2021. Still in media, still doing my thing, and still able to provide for my family. And I will always be grateful. You understand?
And I am still so very proud of you, Lester. Very, very proud of you.
Right? So I just thought of that coming and just say that, you know, just to attest.
Thanks for your contribution. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you about that.
Yeah, man, easy.
Yeah. And it's amazing, eh?
Yeah, boy. And I'm sure that there are many other people who could give that story and that testimony about, you know, Errol touching them and thing, boy. So that's why if Errol ever need anything, boy, people will be there for you.
Yeah, boy.
And they come like, yeah, you paid it forward too. Because just like you gave this story, how Stoke believed in you, you believed in so many other people.
You hear Lester talking and you hear the passion in his voice.
You don't get stuff by real talk, boy.
You hear the respect, you hear everything. Because, I mean, there are people who have the opportunity that can give the opportunity and won't. You know, and imagine him saying there, you were saying, we're not going to hire anybody.
We're not hiring. We're not. It has some people who don't even hire qualified people. Yeah, it has some people who don't even hire qualified people. You hire a man and didn't even know what he could have. He didn't know he had something to what he could do. And they said, boy, just hire him.
I told him, come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he came back.
Yeah.
So that's it right there. There are some people looking for a job. Okay, what you want to do? Anything. I just lose me there. You can't want to do anything. You understand? And so if I say, well, all right, come back, and I see you turn up, I mean, that stock volumes there for me already. Well, we have played up a big part of the working guys. See all them tapes there?
Yeah.
Trainees and OJTs work to create all of that. Yeah, because a big part of what we did was train people. And right now I have one young man here has just started training, and I would love for the place to be a buzz again. Listen, I don't mind not even coming in the studio, you know, because I have young people down there who on audio, on camera, on set, producing, interviewing, doing them things, you know. This equipment is not to sit down in here for when Errol wants to do something. These cameras have a life, so it's better to be working. You understand? But of course, we need to have revenue. We cannot bring in no youths here and not giving them something. And they will want something. You know?
So tell us about Gael now. Where does Gael stand now? Tell us about Gael now. Where is Gael now?
Well, Gael is right now in the best place it has ever been. We are a global Caribbean content, non-fiction, health and wellness station. It means no matter where you are on the planet, you can look at Gael live. Okay? That is on a Tego Stream app. But beside that, if you're in any landmass in the Caribbean Sea, beside Cuba, you have Gael on cable in your house. Cayman Islands, Bahamas, U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Martinique, Guadeloupe, Curacao, Aruba, any landmass in the Caribbean Sea has Gael on cable in their living rooms, which is an audience of just over 30 million people. We're also in Central America on cable in Honduras, which is also another big audience. We are full HD. We're a full HD station. So we broadcast at 1080p. We have live. We started a live when the lockdown started in March last year. And we on every night live. We probably miss about 10 nights in all with using our rerun. But we live every night because we recognize people need to deal. We need to distress people. We need people to have opportunity to talk, to listen to music. We have a dance segment, 10 o'clock every night. You have to take a dance. You understand? So that's what we do. We have a big audience. People look at us from all over the world. We get messages and viewers from all over the world. You know, so we're in a very unique and privileged position right now. We also have no advertising, because a lot of people still caught up with the Trinidad audience, the Trinidad and Tobago audience, which is a very valuable audience to us, but it's the smallest part of our audience. Our audience is really the wider Caribbean and the diaspora. So
I was going, stick a pen in that right fast, because I was going there. Do you think you get the support in terms of Gael itself from the people locally?
When you say support, I'm not sure what you're asking.
All right. Support in terms of viewership, that kind of support.
Yeah, I think we get our fair share. Now, let me tell you about Gael. People usually start to find Gael when they hit 35 years old. When you're partying and things, you really don't have no time for Gael. When you're ready to deal with truth and find yourself, just find Gael. So that's been our audience range, all of our existence. And there's a temptation to try and put youth programming on and so on, and we've done a fair share of that. But our audience really is old people. 35 and going up, but 45 up, you can't come and fight me in that market at all. Because I own that.
Old day, boy. Oh God, boy. How old you make you feel old day, boy? Oh God, boy.
When people reach that age, they suddenly start seeing things on Gael like they never seen before. There's something we do.
Like when
20 years ago, I think we did that.
It's so funny. I was having a conversation with a Virgin Kenson before we brought you on the live. And that's in the conversation. He was like, I like Holy Life have a nice vibe. Why didn't make Uncle Errol, boy? And it's so ironic that we have him here tonight. Is a blessing. Is a true blessing. I mean, so much knowledge. So, you know, sometimes they say the cemetery is the richest place because a lot of people die with their knowledge. But you are here to share knowledge, and I know a lot of people
I don't want that to happen to me. Yeah. I want to share everything I have with everybody I can while I can.
Yeah. So in terms of corporate, well, he asked for the support of the citizens, but corporate, Trinidad and Tobago, you say you know advertising. Well, what we could do to change that? What?
Advertise.
No, but what? All right.
No, but listen, it's a difficult time. All the other stations, all of their revenues are down. It's a difficult time. Businesses are not making money.
Yeah.
And especially smaller businesses don't understand the value of advertising because there's no direct return. But advertising is a very valuable investment. You think Caribbean, Coca-Cola and them guys need to advertise?
No, but
they don't stop.
Yeah,
they don't, because they have to keep you top of mind. They have to keep you right there. And small business need to understand that. We are now, I didn't even have a sales team for years. I am now putting together packages and I'm targeting businesses that hire 5 people or less.
Right.
Because it's a very affordable package and those people need all the support they can get right now.
Yeah, true.
So that's where we're training our guns right now with respect to our advertising packages. And I have a couple of people who are out there looking to make it happen. Some has already started. I have a girl from Arima with Z's. She'd make her own cleaning products and things. She's been on. She swears that her business has changed since advertising on Guile. There's a guy who got, he did a 1 month. He have a spa, his massage and thing. He's done a testimonial saying that his business has changed for the better since advertising on Guile.
Nice.
We have the reach and TV is credible and we support you, we push you. Our packages are great. If I tell you the package is $2,000 a month. You get 10 ads a day. That's 300 ads for a month.
That's real good.
So $2,000. But you must book for at least 3 months to get it. Yeah? So that you get to pong it out now to make sure you get your deal. I have space to take about 20 people at that rate. So if I have 20 people paying me $2,000 a month, I could bring 4 trainees inside here. We want to make money, but we more than that, we want to make a difference. So we'll make a difference in the business, and we'll have trainees in here making a difference in their lives.
Yeah, man.
No, Uncle Errol, tell us, how is that day in the life of Errol Fabien? What is your favorite dish?
My favorite dish? Provision and saltfish.
You like saltfish? So you're still womanizing them. Yes, I thought you said you're still womanizing, you still like saltfish.
Listen, if they give me that every morning, you'll never hear, I'll never complain that again. Never. You can give me that for breakfast and lunch. If you want to damble, you can put smoke herring instead of the saltfish. But you see, a nice boiling cassava or eddos or dashing or yam, you're making a joke or green fig, you're making a joke or rest it on my chest. That's my thing.
So yeah, give us the day in the life of Errol Fabien.
Okay, so let's look at today. Let's look at today, right?
Yeah.
I woke up later than I usually wake up today. Today I woke up at about 6:30, I think. You know, that's the time I got out of bed this morning. And that's late. Usually I'm up about 5. I tell you I have chickens, so I go and let out the chickens so they could scrunch around. I would put in the feed and put them back in and think. I spend some time out. I like to be out in the early morning sun. I like to get that sunrise. You know, that vitamin D is very good for our immune system, and we get the best supply of it from the sun. So I'm out early. If I have a shoot in the station, I will come downstairs and set up the mics, the cameras, do the lighting, get everything ready. What else do I do? During the day, more than likely, we'll get a call from somebody who have a family member who needs some talking to. So I would deal with that. Before the lockdown, I would on a Tuesday go up in the mountains, do my volunteer, go Cora on a Thursday to do a little volunteer. As that started, it stopped because the lockdown came. What else would I do? I write songs, believe it or not. I write little calypso. I don't always sing them or perform them.
Yeah,
I like to write. In fact, I should give you a verse and chorus in my most recent
song. Oh, you mean? Come now, man.
Are you sure they can handle this?
Yeah, let me hear it now, man.
All right, this calypso is a calypso for support, right? I find the distressing the Prime Minister and the government, me included. So I said, let me write something in support. So here it goes. I'm fed up and I find it's time the things stop. Enough is enough. The character assassination has to stop. The man was elected fairly to serve. So we got the leader that we deserve. So with his decisions, we must abide. I know he have, excuse me, I know he have something strong deep inside. Continue, Mr. PM. Continue what you're doing. Continue. I'm just saying, continue. I'm addressing, continue, continue, continue. Yeah, that's my verse and chorus there.
Yeah, man. They go, I could say, can I park with that day?
Talking about, I just spoke about that. What made you get into politics?
Because I want to see something different. You see how I like to give people a chance and encourage and bring a groundswell and move behind something. You know, I'm not happy with leadership in the country. I'm not happy at all. And I grew up knowing if you don't like what's being done, then start doing it yourself.
Make a change. Be the change you want.
I can't be pelting stone at people and I'm not prepared to stand up in the booths, right? And I want to vote. And there are nobody to vote for between them two parties for me. So I run for myself.
Independent.
And I look forward to the day to get into the parliament, you know, because I want to ask the hard questions, I want to demand the answers, and I want to table things that can bring about change, much needed change in this country. One of the biggest things we need is to start to govern with love, to start to appreciate the people upon whose backs we all stand, the working class people. I want people to understand that if the Prime Minister don't come to work for 6 weeks, the country running. But if the garbage men don't come to work for 6 days, it's all over. You understand? We have to understand the value of every person in our society and build a society that cherishes the weakest of us, and then it will automatically take care of the rest of us. I want to see that. And I feel if I'm in Parliament, I could contribute to that. You know, but in this country, you have to be yellow or red. Yeah, and I'm not about that. Yeah, I'm not about that. I could stand alone. I don't have a problem with that. Win, lose, or draw, I go in. So that's what I believe.
So next election, you see yourself going up, you'll be going up next election. I mean,
yeah. I see myself going up. Yeah. You see, I don't need, when I stand up for something, to turn around and see it masses, you know. I'm comfortable standing up for someone, turn around and I see nobody behind me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable. I know me, I know what I believe in, and I know my strength and power.
But what about, I mean, do you use the TV station as a support mantle for you to get your point across? Because we don't see you doing, the thing is, we don't see, between the 5 years, we don't see you doing any activism, or at least we don't see it. Maybe you do it, any activism, maybe speaking out. Well, maybe sometimes it's only close to the election, we don't see you coming out. But maybe we need to, you know,
that's when they seek me out. That's when they seek me out. But the thing is, my work, okay, what happened on the 1st of October 2020? If I wasn't doing my work all along, that wouldn't happen. Because PNM and UNC people didn't contribute. People contributed. People forgot about their loyalties and different things. And they saw something that they recognized has been performing in a particular way. Because the comments were like, continue doing what you're doing. This shouldn't happen to you. You have done this. You've contributed that. You've done the next, you know. So, but how we vote is not how we party.
Oh,
that's a very important line.
Yeah,
how we vote is not how we party. So I do my work third base as much as I can in my community and communities throughout the region.
Right.
Because NGOs and so on call on me from all over, and I had to jump on a plane to go and work sometime, jump in my car to go and work sometime, put on my shoes and walk down the road to go and work sometime. But work, I don't stop empowering people and helping people. Yeah, I don't stop it at all.
Yeah.
You know, but the nature of the politics in this country demands that you cry down this one and cry down that one, and you know, and I'm not about that. If Dr. Rowley doing something that I find is a waste of time, I say, I thought he should have really got me support to do the Sandals project. I thought that would have been a good thing because I understand that brand. I know they promote the destination because all the hotels are pretty much the same. So they promote the destination. I know that the people of Grenada, 22% of their foreign exchange comes from that hotel being there. Antigua Barbuda, similar situation. I know the amount of jobs outside of the hotel created by the hotel being there. Farmers, you know, why would you think they prefer to buy a tomato and fly to Grenada or to support a tomato grower in Grenada?
Yeah.
You understand? The local farmers and so on can do well, but they have to produce a certain crop, a certain size tomato, a certain
quality. Yeah.
The Sandals uses close on more than 1,000 eggs a day. Because if they have the 500 rooms filled, if they have 250 rooms, that's 500 people, it's couples. And if they have 2 eggs a day, that's only breakfast. They don't talk about how much egg for lunch, how much egg for dinner. You understand? Yeah. How much meat, how much chicken.
So there are opportunities there.
Yeah. Insurance, taxi drivers, tour operators, they think they want to just come to Tobago and sit down. They want to go on a tour. They want to fly to Trinidad. They want to go to Pitch Lake, all them things. You know, that was a missed opportunity. That was a good thing that Dr. Rowley was on to. He'd been on to things that I disagree with also. Yeah. But I just call it as it is.
Yeah. So, as they're talking about missed opportunity, right? We spoke about this on the live a couple of weeks ago, but I would like to hear your take on it. What about the Michael B. Jordan situation?
It was the saddest and dumbest thing that I've seen. If I had a say in that, I would have asked him to not just put the name Juve on the bottle, but put the map of Trinidad and Tobago on his bottle. I would make him the official Juve ambassador to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. No Juve anywhere in the world must happen without him being there, even if it is at my expense. Right. Because that is what we need. We keep saying we want to carry our thing to the world, and when the world embrace it, we vex.
Yeah, we vex. It's we think we all get it up.
Exactly. You're making a record. We should have written the story of Juve and send it to him to put on his label.
Yeah.
You understand? We should bring him and say, boy, let me show you the thing.
Yeah, let me show you what Juve really is.
We should fly him to Trinidad. We should create a Juve for him to see it in July.
Yeah,
Juve in July just for him.
As a matter of fact, we should name it Michael B. Juve.
You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? This is what we've been asking for as a people.
Yeah.
And here it is happening, and people vex.
Yeah.
Is so. That's when people only see as far as the tip of the nose. But in my case, my nose is so big. When I see the tip of my nose, I still see him far.
Right. And another situation is lately where they we saw it yesterday where they want to put the Despers Spaniard on Nelson Street, right? Nelson Street, the building with the Despers. What do you think about it?
I have no problem with that. Despers has a great pan theater up the hill already that I know of, that I've been to many times. Yeah. And if they want to do that, my thing is timing and cost. And who are the people, who are the contractors getting the job? Is it men from Nelson Street so they have a sense of ownership and that they'll take care of it? Or you're bringing in people into the community to build this and these guys not participating? Is the pan theater going to have like a strip mall that people from the community could sell food and clothes and the front thing? How is it going to benefit the community?
Yeah.
How is it going to benefit the community? Is it going to have a homework center there? Is it going to have a television training facility there? Would there be a little Desper's radio that going out on the national station for a half hour a day or every day that should be training people? You know, what is the benefit to the community? You cannot tell me it's 14 million and they're building a pan theater, because I know this same government built a massive thing down Diego Martin, down in the Enadigo, nice big facility. The community don't get to use it. Right. We have all this theory about the place and the community don't get to use them. You understand? There's all kind of hoops and things to jump through. A lot of the community centers, they're not really open to the communities. You know? So I might think this is a very useful and valuable thing, but it must have its usefulness. And I think 14 million is a real overkill on something like that, you know? But it's not that the people don't deserve it. It's not that we don't need to set a standard for pan theaters to encourage private sector to build similar pan theaters throughout the country. Is that the plan? Have they challenged the private sector? Have they said, okay, if you're going to put 10 million towards a pan theater anywhere, Mr. Corporate Trinidad, we will put the next 4 to put in the pan theater, and it must have this, that, and the next. You understand? That is my thing, because people can benefit from these things. But when it's just a showpiece, you lose me there.
Yeah, I hear you. Well said, well said.
On another note, you being in the arts, who are some of the young actors and actresses coming up that you admire?
There is a young comedian. There's a young comedian named Kevin Sawyer. He's the greatest thing out there right now. Kevin Sawyer. Remember that?
Kevin Sawyer.
Yeah.
He off the charts. He is really phenomenal.
What do you like about him? What do you like about him?
His style. I like his style. I like the topics he's tackled. I like his fearlessness. I think he has a great sense of humor also, you know. And more than that, his strength. Because we know he has a challenge walking, whatever is paraplegic, whatever it is they call it. I'm not sure the term for his situation,
right.
But that is not stopping the brother.
Yeah, right.
He is getting up and going out there. You understand? And that is I admire that. I really admire that. But apart from that, also Lemo, JaVale, you know, they have a thing they have a vlog, he's do like once a month or something. So, you know, JaVale Lemo, well, anyway, I think he's very funny. I like him very much.
But I'm going to do some research on it.
Yeah,
What about plays? What about plays, Errol? What play would you say all the years still, you know, stands out for you? One play.
Wow. I would have to say Smile Orange. I played the role of a dude's man. He was a waiter, but he was interfering with all the women in the hotel. Yeah. But he was smooth, boy. He real smooth. But that role, I love that. I love that. I've been in more plays than I can remember. Also, I was in a two-hander with Nicky Crosby. I did it first with Cecilia Salazar. It's called Dry Run. It's a very demanding play, but very funny. A great play. And more recently, I did the Calypso Girls. There were 4 women in it. I was the only man in it. And I played 5 different characters in the play because I was tackling all the girls. I was a womanizer again. Yeah, I was tackling all the girls, and I was a priest as far as one was concerned. I was a businessman as far as one was concerned. I was all kind of different characters. It was great work for me as an actor.
You know what?
And playing different characters. Playing different characters. There are times where you just forget your lines.
Well, that's one of my fortes, really. People know when they're on stage with me, I've got it. I have their lines and my lines. And I'll always bring it back. I'll always bring it back. You can't get lost when I'm out there on stage with you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm a lot older now, eh?
But the memory still sharp.
You're right.
Yeah. One thing I must say about Errol that I admire, you know, I have this thing where, you know, I mean, I know comedies, there are different types of comedians. Some comedians like to put on, you know, the wig and the thing. I don't think I ever see Errol put on like a wig and dress up like a woman to get laughs. To me, naturally, just funny. And these times, people do it for the cheap laughs and thing, and you know, wait, think about it. Especially in I believe in 2021 for still doing that now. I mean, I just, you know, it does nothing for me really.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I say to each his own. There are some people who are at a place where they find that is funny. I don't really find that is funny.
Yeah, I don't find that.
Right?
Yeah.
But to each his own. Because if they're doing it, it means people paying to see it. So they will grow from there or not. But you see, if we all have a place in this world, that we all doing something that our Creator placed in us to do. Yeah? And if we don't do it, the world might stop spinning and all of we go fall off. So let them do what they're doing. Yeah. So we can stay on the world and can keep on spinning, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. And who do you like? Who you like internationally? International comedians like a Dave Chappelle or Steve Harvey. Who is your international? Paul Mooney.
Kevin Hart.
International, I will have to say, if I have to choose an international, I will say Russell Peters.
Russell Peters, okay. Russell Peters of Canada. Nice.
Yeah.
Boy too.
Yeah, very nice guy. I work with him quite a bit too. I work with this boy too. We do a lot of work together. Oliver Samuels, all over the world, they book us together for different things. Yeah. But he's usually drama, and I do the comedy, the stand-up comedy to open the show and things. I get a lot of work from Jamaicans in Jamaica and all over the place. Jamaicans hire me a lot to come and do comedy for them.
Wow.
Why is that the thing? What is about the Jamaicans? What do they like about this?
I don't know. I guess they just like me. I don't know. but also they understand me. I love language. Right. So when I adjust my language, my speed and my everything based on the crowd that's in front of me. And I've been very lucky with Jamaican promoters. Very lucky.
Yeah. You ever had a heckler? You ever had one of them hecklers in front of you? A heckler in front of you just gave you a real problem?
Since that show with Relator, I can't say that I've had that at all. Yeah, man. But I've had a great time. Through it all. I wouldn't change anything about my life, you know. Yeah. I got a lot of lessons when I was down, and I think it serves me in good stead now to be a better human being. I think if I didn't go through what I went through, and if I had gotten some of the jobs with some of the people, I think I'd be a real asshole. Nobody would have liked me, you know. But having gone through what I've gone through, I'm in a much different place with respect to appreciating people.
Nice.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
Well, I don't know what you want to accomplish and what you want to do again. I know. Wait, there's something Errol Fabien want to do again still, but your mind ain't checking on all that.
I want to make the movie about Austin Lyons. I want to do that.
Pablo.
Yeah. He is the greatest. I love that man real bad. He's the greatest. Yeah.
That would be a big movie. That would be a big movie.
What? Mega movie, boy.
What do you call it? Super? What was the name
super,
of it?
Super. You can't call it nothing else.
Super.
If you're not calling it super, you have to call it super. Super, boy.
Yeah. We want to thank you for your time. You know, we really appreciate it. We really appreciate it having you on the live here tonight. You know what I mean? With all the history, I learn a lot. You know, I show base learn a lot too, and the people that view and learn a lot. And this is going to be uploaded to YouTube, so this is an ongoing thing. People can always go on YouTube, press play, and hear. You know, they come up because it's very important. As I said before, it's very important. People know you come up. People, you know, see the glory, but a lot of times they don't know the story. So we appreciate having you.
Yeah. Well, RKG and Third Base, thank you very much for having me. I really want to wish God's blessing on the two of you and all that you do, all of your endeavors, all of your families and things. And just keep believing in people and give people a chance as much and as often as you can. Yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Love ups. Love ups, love ups.
Respect.
Yes.
Yeah, respect.
Just
respect. Respect. Respect it, you boy. That's the man himself. Ah, boy, that was a we was well informed tonight.
That live need to be on TV, man.
Yeah, boy. Hey, let me go and save this live, man. You know me on live?
Yeah, exactly. Save it.
Let me go and save the live. Base, it was nice.
Yeah, man. And everybody make sure and follow us, you know, and for I know RKG you always post the live after
follow RKG and Base.
Right? Subscribe to my YouTube channel because I post this on my YouTube channel, Base aka Trilogy on the YouTube. So everybody
I understand the posting about my channel.
Yeah, people still talking about Trevor last week, you know, people still, you know, wanted to see the whole thing with Trevor, you know, right? So it was good, man.
Yeah. Also, people have a new song releasing next week. It's called Love Life. You know what I mean? A nation building song is also a dedication to Leroy Thomas, because you passed away. We shot the video last week. Bass is in the video. Bass have a big role in the video.
Yeah, you know, thinking Errol could have played my role, boy.
Yeah, he could have played the role too, though.
Yeah.
But we have more things coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The video
so
be nice.
Tomorrow, I'm on radio from 12 to 3.
Yeah, man.
With the energy.
Yeah, man. Niceness, man. TikTok mommies, you TikTok mommies out there. You over 30, 40, 50. Follow me on TikTok. BASSTNT TikTok. Let's do those videos, those duets. Let's go, ladies. Nice, man. Life, boy. Life. Love life. So Friday. Releasing Friday, or?
I want to release Friday, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Don't worry. Slow and steady.
Slow and steady. We're looking out for it. Nice, man. Respect. Everybody.